Hello everyone. Just wanted to give you a quick update. I've been spending a little time with our new Argy. Actually, let's go ahead. Pet. Hey, that was supposed to be a pet. There we go. So what I did is I took our Argy, who was level 83. He's now clearly a slightly higher level. Sorry about that. Got a frog in my throat. So what I did is I took him, I found one of those little, he's going up the stairs, almost. I took our Argy, went to one of those little containers. This was one of the Egyptian hieroglyph containers. Got to level up. He got 8 or 9 levels from that already. Then he has that boost for 600 more seconds. So we went and I just went to that mountain in the south. The one that's all the way down that way. And there were, of course, lots of nasty, mean carnivores there, and killed a bunch of those. Especially, surprisingly, the hyenas. If you can down a pack of hyenas, there were 6 in the pack. Just got tons of levels from that. When I finished with the pack of hyenas, he was down about a third in health. So you have to keep track of these things, make sure he doesn't get hurt. I had 12 levels just from that pack of hyenas. So I've been putting it equally into health, stamina, weight, and melee, though I've thrown a little more into weight recently. He probably is weakest in health at this point, but that's something I can kind of manage. In other words, you can't really manage weight as easily when you just want to use him as a bus to ferry things here and there. Um, Melee damage is good to have. This is almost double what it was. Started at in the 250s, I think maybe 270. This is only up a little bit. Stamina's up quite a bit. Weight is up quite a bit, but I think we've actually bumped up melee damage the most. But I've only dropped a couple of things. This was just an example of what we can find. This raw prime meat would be nice to put to something else. Actually, the organic polymer can work, of course, as regular polymer, since we're not really going to be making any more ghillie things anytime soon. So that gives us a lot of polymer to make something like the refrigerator, which we could do right now. I can make that second refrigerator. I do need to still do electrical cables. I haven't installed anything yet. The industrial grill is great because it is fantastic for making tons of cooked raw meat, raw prime. This prime's going to go away. It doesn't matter. You can get a whole bunch of it. So after I went into the South Mountain, I went out to the desert and basically concentrated mostly on snakes. That's actually where you can get a lot of raw prime meat from. This stuff's just about to go, and it's going to turn into lots of spoiled meat. Doesn't matter. We can always get more. We got ourselves a new beetle. So this is our new guy, Dag. He's got a little more colorful pattern on him. Let's go ahead and close the door just in case I forget. But then we have all of this stuff that that your Argy can gather, including like metal tools, which I can still use. But I think what we're going to do, I probably should have dumped this all beforehand, but this is just to get an idea of what you can do. So I went up a total, while he was doing that, while he was doing all of those initial run-ups in levels, I think he went up to level 120. I think he started at 83. He went up to like 120, 125 in about 15 minutes with the help of that level up experience thing. I don't want to use too many of those yet. I'm probably just being too conservative with them, but I want sort of every main animal that I'm using to use it once, but when I get those level 150 RGs or Phylas or something like that, I would like to be able to use a couple of those to really level those guys up super fast. Seeing as he was only sort of low medium level, I don't really want to spend too many of them on here, and he's pretty OP as it is. So scrap metal and these things, electronics, and oil and element dust all come from killing tech animals. He does a pretty good job of gathering resources from almost everything. The thing it definitely doesn't do any better at gathering resources at... Oh, I need to get some wood here and get this metal going. The thing he doesn't do any better at gathering resources is chitin. So you definitely need to have him kill the things that you would want. Okay, that's not what I wanted. I wanted split half. You definitely want him to kill, of course, easily, which is what he does. All of the animals like the arthropleura. Actually, I don't go for the arthropleura because he'll shoot at you because you are on the Argy. It's going to shoot at you, and if you're not fast enough, and the Argy isn't super fast, it isn't very agile. It's fairly fast, but it doesn't turn very well. Because it doesn't do that, you may get hit, and then it's just going to kind of cut right through your armor, which I really don't need to do. In fact, this armor is sort of on its way out, but I mean, I can repair it pretty easily. I've got loads of silk in it, and not a ton of hide. But I didn't have a ton of hide, did I? Until this. I'll take the keratin as well. In fact, one thing that you'll find, even though he's not good at collecting chitin, he's still got a reasonable amount. But as you can see here, we just got 800 and change hide. And that is something we were very short of. So that's actually quite good. I don't even remember what we were going to use it for. Kind of don't care. Actually, it was the Argy saddle, but do you know what? We are going to need it, because one of the next things we need to do, in fact, we need all that metal for, is the Rex saddle. Now, he is not a particularly high-level Rex, but it might be fun to stomp around with him as well. Also get him one of those nice little power-ups. We really need stamina for this guy more than anything. But we'll see how that goes. Excuse me again. Frogs in throats. But I would like to stomp around on the Rex and have a bit of fun. Oh yes, we have a rescue mission for our Argy. But I want to make sure that the Argy's ready to go with that. I've been sort of chucking it onto weight. Now I should be putting it on health. Really, the rest of this should go to health. Oh, look, there's more chitin. I'll grab the narco berries. Actually, let's grab the hatchet, because all the primitive stuff can just go because it's useless. I mean, it's great that it collects all these things, but I think the snakes give you these. That's why there's so many of them in here. The Argies give you some of these. They're not really that useful. Like I don't really need any super light armor anymore, because the one time that you need something that's light is if you're being carried by something that doesn't have a lot of weight carrying capacity. Well, my raptors already have a reasonable amount. Let me transfer that. Let's get this little recipe. And even my moths are up to 500. I mean, he started at like 550, but my moths were up at 500 weight as well. So, I mean, that's actually pretty darn good just for a moth. In fact, our moths have served us extremely well. They've served me up to level 86 in this game, and they were fantastic, but they are now retired for the most part. There's sort of really no reason for them, so I'll probably just start throwing all their levels on health, because I just don't want them to go away. They've been very good steeds, and they may... Hey, you don't get to go. They've been very good, giving great service, and have actually been very useful so far in the game, so I can't really complain. Just get rid of all this, and I'll just leave all the meat in there. No big deal. It's not really where I want this to go. Oh yeah, fun thing. So you can see the spoil time for this in here. Oh, I've lost my I've been out for too long. Took a while to get the Argy. Whoops. Let's get my favorite sound in the game. So fantastic. And you get to hear it twice. So even here with this, with the preserving salt, it's 40 minutes, so 80 minutes until, I think it's actually 90 minutes until it boils. However, if you leave it out there in, if you leave it out there in the box, the spoil time's like 14 days. So yeah, it's dangerous because you could lose it if it gets destroyed and you're not paying attention to it. But the that lasts so much longer out there that you might as well just kind of leave them there, especially if you don't need any more right now, which I don't. Let's just go put some of this stuff away, which is all just busy work, and I really shouldn't be doing it here. I'm just going to chuck it all here, even if it doesn't go. I didn't put the narco berries back. At least put the things back that will expire. Okay. Sure, that stuff as well. All right. Rescue time. Actually, I was going to do something else first, but this is kind of the point of the Argy. We have somebody not with us. We have a friend that we need to visit. Okay, I couldn't see the carrots from up there. I was looking at the carrots. I figured they were just too small to render in, but I wanted to make sure they hadn't been damaged. Everything's still growing there. We've got somebody to rescue, somebody who's in a little cage over here. And the only way we were ever going to get our black sheep back was to recover, it was to basically carry. And the only way you're going to carry them is with the Argy. I think the Tapahara could also carry, but I mean the Argy is just a very easy tame, as you could see. We can get any number of them that we want in that same area. I would probably even do it with a moth again, simply because the moth is fairly fast, and the moth is also much more maneuverable, especially for that little bit at the end where I have to land, especially because of the way I made it. It was kind of disappointing how that didn't turn out, that I didn't plan it particularly well, but that's also fine. All right. Let's hear, that was a moth. Okay. Sorry, I have to look at the moth. Could probably go right up near it. No, I don't want to hit the moth. 24. It's amazing. I just haven't seen... Okay. All right, thank you for the stomps. I don't think this sheep can go out, so I think I need to destroy this. I'm going to leave the rest of it here, though. Oh, too heavy? Too heavy? Maybe? Why wasn't it moving? I mean, I'll just transfer everything over here. It's no big deal. Okay, thank you with all the stompity stomps. There we go. So chill. Actually, we could have picked it up from in there, but really... Alright. No prancing yet. And grab. And we've got ourselves a sheep. Shep is not particularly heavy, so it doesn't weigh down the Argy too much. It will clip into just about anything, so if you fly too close to the ground, anything that you're carrying will be dropped off. You can carry people. You can carry quite a few dinos like this. The game typically does not allow you to carry an untamed dino, but these are all... I mean, if it's your private server, you can do it however you want. You can have it... you can allow it to carry untamed dinos as well. That makes it super duper easy to just grab something that's not tamed, bring it into the safety of your house, tame it there. I kind of just like to play the game as it is, so to not change too many of the rules. In fact, I actually like turning the taming level down and XP, but I forgot to do that in this one, so I'm just keeping it at 2x, which is what it defaulted to, because I reset everything before I started this. And let go. Okay, you can park it there. And we have happy sheep. I have no clue how stupid this sheep is. It's a very it's a very simple thing, and I'll be honest with you, the same thing goes with these guys. Because I have them wandering, you don't really need to, I can tell them to stop wandering, but they don't make the, which I don't have any poop in them, but they don't make the fertilizer without wandering, but I don't need any more fertilizer. But if I use these to cook, which I have recently, I think they can wander in and hurt themselves. And here's the problem with this sheep. It has no health, because it was like a level very low sheep when I got it. So, I mean, you can see how useless it is. 97 weight. Hey, melee damage. It's a high damage sheep. I don't know what they do. Very little stamina, because as you can see, we could take like 4 prances and then it ran out of. So, I mean, these things kind of exist for one thing. They exist, well, I suppose, to be cute. I suppose. But they also exist to be eaten. To be bred for food and to be fed as one of the best foods in the game to any carnivores. So, for instance, if I can get another sheep and then start breeding them, and then get a level 150 or close enough Argy, we can do a close to perfect tame and get those levels as high as possible to make them as powerful as possible. Do I need a flyer that's particularly powerful in the game? I don't know. At some point, the game ceases to become a grind, and there's lots of other things that can that you have to do in the game, and the RGs are less useful for that. Like, I don't know that they're particularly useful for boss fights. I don't know that they're particularly useful. They're not useful at all for caves, and there's only 3 caves in this game, so we already visited the entrance of one of them. We should definitely put that on the list of things to do. But once, I've got a few little projects to do here, but, once we're done with the house, I'm going to see about that Rex saddle, and maybe we'll look at that right now. But yeah, we're going to have to see what other things we want to do. I'm not here to necessarily win the game, simply because, ooh, there's a raptor there. There's 2 raptors there. Let's have some fun. Considering that my Doty is right around here somewhere. Or no, I grabbed him and brought him back, didn't I? Is that correct? I did. That's pretty cool. Time for you to die. Level 8. Wow. As you can see, though, we can have raptors that spawn very close to the house. So it's not perfect to keep your dinos outside. On the other hand, even the Doty could have taken both of those raptors on his own, so it's not all that dangerous. Honestly, the worst thing would be is I've kind of got them all organized here, so that when I... Thank you. So that when I do... Excuse me. That was funny. So that when I do this, everybody's covered. Okay, almost everybody. Fine. Let's bring the Doty in. Okay, he's actually quite full right now, I think. Let's see, is he in range? Yes. Let's go ahead and do that, and we'll take... What do I have? I got a flamethrower. That's nice. I think I can't carry this many. Yep, let's put that away. Come back for the rest of it later. Ooh, so fast. Okay, please let me through. So let's take a peek at what we got out of, let's see, what did I get? What's so heavy? It should go right here. So I have it here. I set it up right by the door, so I don't have to go any farther. Look at those blueprints. 6 identical blueprints. This is something that I've noticed in this particular save. I don't know why, but certain things just show up way too often. I think I know I already have this, and I've gotten it a bunch of times, so I can just dump all of them. I have a vessel blueprint already. Yep, there it is. I have a real flamethrower, and I don't remember if I have that, and I don't care to look for it. As you can see, there's no need to craft a canteen. It is something that uses polymer. Polymer is valuable. You need it for a lot of other things. You get so many canteens once you get past level 55 because that's where you get access to those yellow drops. That's why I like the yellow drops so well. They give you really good stuff. And a flamethrower. I don't know where. I have put sort of the equipment that I don't really need to use. Like you've got compost bins, but I mean, there's no reason to use them because I have the, I have my little friends, dung beetles. So, and I still haven't given them, still haven't made the feeding trough. That's another thing I should do. Well, we'll get to it eventually. Okay, so we were going to see if we can make the Rex saddle. And maybe clomp around on him a bit. Scrap metal is the same thing as metal in the game. It just has a different source, but it works identically. The thing that's best about scrap metal is one piece of scrap metal shards gives you all the scrap metal. It gives you one piece of scrap metal. So it's a 1-to-1, whereas for the metal ingots, it's actually a 2-to-1. 2 pieces of raw metal gets you the 1 metal ingot. Okay, have I got... Yeah, Rex saddle. Oh, I've got all the metal I need. So that was handy, getting all that hide, because this is where I need it. And we'll grab some fiber. All right. Rex saddle it is. Let's go clomp around on a Rex. You will eventually have way too much hide. I have whole things filled with just giant amounts of hide. I spent some time getting fiber recently. With the sickle is extremely useful for getting fiber. You get it the same way you get fiber just by grabbing for it, except that you don't grab the berries at the same time, so you don't get weighed down. So the sickle is really handy for efficiency. Let's get ourselves a Rex saddle and time to clomp around. If I knew where one of those things was, I would get the Rex to it, but I think you have to be close to it in 3 dimensions. And the problem with the Rex is, of course, he is gigantic. Pardon me once again. All right, time for fun. Excuse me, I want to have some fun. I mean, we had a ton of fun. Oops, sorry about that. We had a ton of fun with the Argy, but it's time for different fun. Okay, how about there? Let's see how far we can go on fast. Hello everyone. I was going to continue the video with the Rex, and in fact I did record it, but it was pretty dull. It was basically just the Rex stomping around and eating stuff. I found one of the little cannabis jars and opened it to get the Rex some levels. He'd of course been sitting for quite a while because we tamed him a while ago. So the levels weren't super great. I think there were like 8 or 9 that we got simply because the later levels take a longer time. That'll be nice. Maybe we can check in on that. In any case, stomped around for a little bit and then went back and decided it wasn't very exciting. Okay then. So one of the things that we decided to do then is to take the Argy out and have him carry another dinosaur, just like we did in carrying our nice little sheep back home. So I took the Doty out just to see how he went. It went pretty well. I grabbed a bunch more resources, which in fact I have now tons of extra stone and tons of extra sand. So I actually need to get the opposing resources. Actually, I take that back. The stone completely used up making more, grinding up more, excuse me, cementing paste. So that went really well. In fact, I think we have 200 more cementing paste, so we'll be able to make some fun stuff in the fabricator. And then decided to take these guys out. So we took up our RG with the Anki, and I was comparing to just using my pick. I had definitely done a bunch of chopping of these metal nodes. This is actually a rich metal node. I haven't done one of those yet, but one of the regular metal nodes, non-rich. I think there might be one over there, with the pick. And you get about 105 to 110 per with this pick. And with the Anki, it looks like you get about, so this is 4 of them, so it's about 800, so it looks like you're getting closer to 200. That might be 5 of them, because I think there were 2 overlapping, so you can be maybe like 160. So Anki is definitely better. First of all, it doesn't use up your pick. Also means that you're not really using your pick for much anymore. But second of all, he reduces the weight. So as much as the Argy will also reduce the weight of this metal, the Anki reduces it by a huge amount. So let's take a look at this. This is 29 weight for the Anki. It's 196 for me. So, you know, whatever that percentage is, it's very small. So the Anki can just grab easily loads of metal, and I really hope it's bright enough to see, because this is going to be a very annoying video to do if not. But we'll go ahead and grab the Anki and show how easy it is to do mid-flight. So you grab your Anki. The biggest thing is the bird has a bit of a cruise, as you can see, after he goes around. So what I'll try and do is go down here. There's nobody who's actually going to eat our Anki, or at least try to, because when you hang him out like this, it seems to make it very interesting, like he's bait to a bunch of things. So we'll come up on this metal node, and he should bash it. So there we go. He's reducing the weight in his inventory, which also reduces the weight that the bird has to carry, by a considerable amount. In that also includes the stone. So he is accumulating stone. I'd already tossed all the stone out. But the nice thing is that you can fly up to these things and have him bash them. And if you do it well enough, he'll only bash what you want. Though, see, he got the wrong thing that time. It's no big deal. Come on. Is he full? And then if you run into something, oh, he didn't. I'm surprised he did not get clipped into the ground. Might be because it's a slope there, but he is frequently getting clipped into the ground. And you just drop him off, which of course is dangerous if you're hovering over an area with lots of... Okay, so I think that the Anki is actually full. So let's go into his inventory and have a look, because that is something I wasn't careful to look for just now. No, that's interesting. Love that sound that he makes. We'll keep the flint because we do need that for other things. That's interesting that the Anki just wasn't really bashing that one spot. But let's try it again. There we go. I don't know. I wouldn't say it's buggy. I mean, that's just almost an excuse in this game. But it does work pretty well. It also means that I'm going to have a ridiculous amount of metal very soon. In fact, I don't even need this much metal. It's just useful for making a number of the machines. So, as you can see, it's also sometimes tough just to get that Anki to decide that he wants to bash something. Let's go get this one over here then. See what we can do. Hopefully he doesn't bash the other. It doesn't really matter if he bashes them. It's just got to clear out his inventory more. See, it works great. So perfect. It's fantastic. Come on. You know you want to. So, alright, fine. So let's just say your Anki is moody. It's not that hard. Hey, where are you going? It's not that hard to just drop him down. He is actually very... okay, he's actually pretty overloaded at this point. I'm also a little fat too, so that's not helping. There's lots of rocks here. I don't know if he's going to get the right one. I missed. Alright, I'll try to go here. Hopefully we'll get both of these. Oh, that's weird. What's the deal here? I have to say this is kind of strange. It's almost like it's not detecting them, which would just be a complete surprise in this game, to have something just not work properly. Alright, so we've escaped. And let's go across the top here and see if we can get it. Back up. This is strange. This sure feels like a bug. Alright, well, here's the thing. Our Anki is mostly full anyway. So I think it's about time to go back. What we can do, though, with the Argy is we can... By the way, I haven't shown you where we are at the map. I should probably do that, huh? It's always useful. You can, if you're real familiar with the map, you can tell by some of the landmarks, like there's one of the little spines of the dragon's back, if you want to call it. Second set of spines is right in front of me. But on the map, we're at that post, which is sort of in the far distance of where our house is. Our house is that direction. And around all of these places on the map, including the ones I'm pointing at over there, the farther ones, all of these raised places, these mountains on the map, there are all sorts of metal nodes. So, but the Anki isn't only good for metal, he's also good for crystal, and he is also good for obsidian. So we can do the same technique in those crystal and obsidian areas. This is why getting that Anki is nice, but of course it's just hard to get him, actually just get him going anywhere. So it looks like I can touch both of them at the same time. So let's see, we put the 45 from here. If we put him in the bird, it's 150, so it's more than 3 times the weight, but it is still, you know, I don't even think it's worth it. I think we're basically just going to take the Anki and go back. Because I'm the only person on the server, it's, you know, my computer, I'm not sure that we're going to run out of metal. Like, metal is far more necessary in sort of multiplayer servers, because first of all, you all have to save, you all have to share everything. And yes, I'm using share in scare quotes, or I guess those would be ARK share quotes. You do have to share everything, you have to compete with everybody for resources, and so there may be a limitation, especially if you're in an area where there are a lot of people competing. So you would probably want to maximize on your dino that's doing your collecting, which in this case most of the time is the Anki. You'd probably want to maximize the damage, because that'll just get you a little more metal for each hit. But on the other hand, for a thing like this, I'm probably going to want to maximize weight, because the bigger limiting factor is going to be just how much can it carry. So I have to hit one more node to get the total amount. There's just so many nodes around that it's just not going to end up being a problem. So I should probably bump them up in weight. Also, I was sort of flying around, fighting an occasional, putting the Anki down, fighting the occasional dino. Definitely could use a little more. Let's see, I'm tempted to drop him inside. I just sort of decided not to at the last second, because he clips out so easily that actually carrying him out might be a bit of a pain, but I'll just do that. And I left the front door open. So let's see who escaped. I doubt anybody did, because this place was probably unloaded. Sheep shouldn't be. We've got 1, 2. Where's the third? No, there's 3. One of them had climbed all the way up to the top. He was pretty cool. Okay, everybody's still here, so that's fine. I am going to just grab you and put you next to our little Lystrosaurus here and pet him. I moved everybody over slightly, mostly so I can see out the front door. Sorry, out the windows, the front windows. Okay, so how do we transfer? Oh, I've got a bunch of junk in my... here, you can eat those. A bunch of junk in my inventory. I've actually already got metal, some metal in here. I actually got a little bit more through the tests. Hey, we can go in here. As you can see, we still have some chitin left, so let's toss the stone in here. Finish up the cementing paste. I am going to need spark powder sometime soon, so we'll toss the flint in there. I just want to get rid of the hide here. and we've got a little more hide. As I said, that's now finally stopped being a limiting factor. And then we've just got so much spoiled meat. There's, again, it's not like I'm really going to be taming a whole lot of high-level dinos, so I'm not really sure how the spoiled meat's going to go. Wow, I can actually carry this whole thing barely. But I think if I just transfer all my junk over there, I'll be able to carry it a little more quickly. That'll work. Okay. So I may also be out of, well, there's a little bit of wood there. I'll get it going. But in any case, the point of this was just to show how to use the Anki. You can just grab them with your bird, carry them along, position them in the air, just above where your metal node or anything else you're trying to get is, and he can bash on his own. The problem is that, as you can see, it's also kind of buggy, and I do remember that. That bugginess can be a little frustrating, but what can you do? I'm going to check this here for now because closed doors, no idea, but that is a red. And you know what? Got a moth, and we can still use, oh, it's still coming down. All right. I think I might, let's just flutter over there. Why not? This map was not spawning in any of these locations here, was not spawning any carnivores anywhere for hours, for a really long time. And it just started. There were a couple of raptors down here. I killed one that was like level 4. Ooh, level 4. With my Argy on the way over. That was part of sort of monitoring how all of that stamina was going. But yeah, it's kind of disappointing how this map has done its spawns. I mean, it's nice not having high-level carnivores when you have to fight with them. But I certainly bumped into a lot of them earlier on. I'm not saying that they were all high level, because me being at level 1 through 5 or whatever it was, there were certainly more than enough to kill me. Well, this is the best drop in the game. Red with a ring. Let's see. Look, what a surprise. Flamethrower, ammo, again. I just chunked it. Yet another wind turbine. I've got 6 or 7 now. Chainsaws are great, but that's just so much polymer. I'm definitely going to have it. Another canteen. I think I mentioned before. I don't remember. I don't need an adobe wall. I already have that. And I think, did I hit? Yeah, I hit transfer for that. Well, I got that rocket launcher blueprint. I actually got a rocket for it on the last drop. Okay. Nights aren't very long on this map, which is nice. The drops, again, the drops are sort of part of that weird observation that I have from the game, in that, the randomness is not very random on this game. It's really strange. There's another raptor right there. So let's just take a peek at him. Oh, I dumped everything out of my inventory. I don't have anything to look at. Fantastic. I do want to take a peek at him, though. I think I put my inventory into the Ankylosaurus. So let's just go grab that and hop on out and see if we can get another raptor. Because the raptors, let's transfer that all back. What did I say I want to give him? Weight. So he gets weight, but the bird will get, the bird definitely needs more stamina, because I don't like how often you have to change stamina. Okay, so here we go. We'll have to land to charge. See, 56. It's like, it's actually better than a number of the raptors I've seen, even though it's so low level. But I'll leave it there for now. All right, no other progress on the house yet. Part of it was just taking the Dodie out, like I just did with the Anki, and seeing what we could do with them, which was great, and got a lot of parts. So now what I need is to find out what the best thing to grab sap from the trees is. It may just be me running around on Dusty here and landing and just chopping down a bunch of cactuses. I actually did a bunch of that before, and they still haven't regrown. So you can see there's sort of a shortage of cactuses in the local area because I chopped them all down and they haven't respawned yet. In any case, this was just sort of a catch-up. I think next thing up is to finish the roof here. We showed out how we can get all the metal, which was really nice. We'll probably do the same thing for some other odds and ends, and I swear we are super totally going to arrange our power generation here. In any case, until the next episode when we do more stuff in the house, I think we're done. On cue, everybody is giving us a little bit of Nature Zone. And until next time, and we watch Sonic the Hedgehog fight off a raptor that looks like a tech raptor even, I'll see you in the next one. And by the way, that little spot over there is right where we were gathering our metal today. Talk to you soon.